morning everyone, my name is Joel L. PAGOBO, BSCA2. I'm going to report glossary of terms and the annexes. Number 1. Ballast. Heavy cargo which is loaded on board a vessel or aircraft merely for the purpose of making it steady, to enable it to navigate in the event of scarcity of other cargo. When not brought to port as article, ballast of no commercial value may be discharged upon permit granted by the collector of customs for such purpose, mentioned in section 35 on this manual. Number 3. Bill of lading is a transport document for ocean freight issued by shipping lines, carriers, and international freight forwarders or non-vessel operating common carrier, mentioned in sections 15 and 20 of this manual. Number 4. Bond, an instrument designed chiefly to guarantee the integrity and honesty of the principal, his ability, financial responsibility, and his compliance with law of contract, a guarantee of performance. It is an agreement whereby one part, called the surety, obligates itself to a second party, called the obligee, to answer for the default of a third party called the principal, mentioned in section 16 and 32 of this manual. Number 5. Break bulk, non-containerized cargo which is group or consolidated for shipment and broken down or subdivided into unitized cargo, such as in pallets or packed in bags or boxes, mentioned in sections 4, 14, 15, and 16 of this manual. Number 6. Bulk, liquid or dry goods shipped in bulk, not packed or bundled in separate units. Include commodities that are lost or in a mass and required to be pumped, shoveled, scoped, cracked, or forked during loading or unloading, mentioned in section 4, 15, and 16 of this manual. Cargo manifest is a declaration of the entire cargo, the object of which is to furnish the customs officers with a list to check against, to inform our revenue officers what's good are being brought into the country, and to provide a safeguard against goods being brought into this country when a vessel and then smuggled ashore. In maritime law, is a record or statement in writing carried by a vessel containing information with respect to the vessel's cargo, passengers, and other matters required by the statute or regulations, mentioned in section 14, 15, 17, and 18 in this manual. Carrier means the person actually transporting goods or in charge of or responsible for the operation of the means of transport, mentioned in section 5, 8, 11, 14, 15, and 16 in this manual. Customs clearance means the accomplishment of the customs formalities necessary to allow goods to enter for home use, warehousing, transit of transshipment, or to be exported or placed under another custom procedure, mentioned in section 16 and 13 of this manual. Coastwise ports are such domestic ports as are open to coastwise trade only. These include all ports, harbors, and places not ports of entry, mentioned in section 17 of this manual. Container freight station means normally a warehouse or transit shed adjacent to the container yard used for sorting and storage of container cargo both for import and export, mentioned in section 5, 6, 7, 8, 16, 17, and 19 of this manual. Containerized cargo, cargo stuff inside a container van with the external dimension and ratings enumerated in Series 1 of ISO 668-1976, which are specially designated to facilitate ready handling, particularly their transfer from one mode of transfer to another without intermediate reloading, mentioned in sections 15, 16, and 18 of this manual. Devanning, transfer of cargo from one container to another container, mentioned in section 8 and 41 of this manual. Discharge Port Survey or DPS, a report issued by an accredited cargo surveying company, ACSC, for break bulk cargo after the conduct of a survey at the port of discharge, mentioned in section 15 of this manual. Dry dock means a dock from which the water can be temporarily excluded in order to effect repairs to the hulls and keels of ships or vessels, mentioned in Part 4, Section D of this manual. In cargo, entrusted shipment of merchandise or articles from abroad, mentioned in Section 15 of this manual. Foreign trade. It is the commercial interchange of commodities between different countries, export and import trade. It is synonymous with the term foreign commerce, which is the trade between individuals or legal entities in different countries, mentioned in Section 15 of this manual. Hatch, an opening in ship's deck through which cargo can be lowered, mentioned in Section 15 of this manual. Less container load, a container loaded with cargoes belonging to more than one consignee and or covered by more than one bill of lading, mentioned in Section 15 of this manual. Load Port Survey, a report issued by an accredited cargo surveying company, ACSC, for break bulk cargo to be imported into the Philippines. The report shall be submitted to the Bureau of Customs directly from the ACSC in the secure electronic format, mentioned in Section 15 of this manual. Moor means to secure a vessel alongside the berth by means of mooring ropes, mentioned in Section 15 of this manual. Non-vessel operating common carrier, NVOCC, means a person including an international freight forwarder providing point-to-point international transfer of shipments without operating or owning the means of transport or equipment. And NVOCC deals with the shipper and issues its own transfer document, even though it commonly subcontracts the different stages of transfer to vessel, aircraft, and truck operators, mentioned in Section 14 of this manual. Port of entry is a domestic port open to both foreign and coast-wide trade. The terms includes principal ports of entry and sub-ports of entry. A principal port of entry is the chief port of entry of collection district, mentioned in sections 15 and 17 of this manual. Prague is a permission granted by quarantine officials to a vessel or aircraft to hold intercourse with the port after the ship or aircraft has complied with port regulations, mentioned in Section 15 of this manual. Quay, a landing place or pier, usually of solid construction, where vessels berth to a load or undercargo, mentioned in Part 4, Section H of this manual. Regular shipside permit, required for all cargoes, which belong to the categories of regular shipside cargoes under the existing regulations, mentioned in Section 15 of this manual. Salon stores, supplies listed as such which are intended for sale on board a vessel or aircraft, mentioned in Section 15 of this manual. Sea stores, articles, especially foodstuff, such as food, wine, cigarettes, for use or consumption only of the passenger and crew on board the vessel or aircraft upon its voyage, mentioned in Section 3 of this manual. Shifting of cargoes. Transferring of cargoes from vessel to vessel and vessel to dock to vessel, hatch to hatch, and bay to bay, mentioned in section 6 and 14 of this manual. Ship's stores consist of spare equipment such as chains, anchor, and the likes, necessary for the safe navigation of ship, mentioned in section 15 and 33 of this manual. Shipside permit. Authority issued by the collector of customs or his or her authorized representative for the custom inspector assigned on a vessel to allow the discharge of cargoes specified on the permit and shipsides onto lighters underboard, mentioned in section 4 and 15 of this manual. Special shipside permit. When cargoes do not belong to the regular shipside cargoes, the broker and or consignee has to get the authority from the collector of customs prior to the processing and approval by the entry processing division, mentioned in section 15 of this manual. Stripping. Unloading of all goods or cargoes from a container, mentioned in section 6, 8, and 41 of this manual. Stuffing. Filing a container with goods or cargoes mentioned in section 16, 39, and 41 of this manual. Temporary shipside is a written authority to discharge cargoes and shipside onto lighter as per order of collector of customs, mentioned in section 15 of this manual. Transit means the custom procedure under which goods are transported under customs control from one customs officers to another, mentioned in section 8, 15, and 17 of this manual. Transit cargo. Article arriving at any port from another port or place noted in the carrier's manifest and destined for transit shipment to another local port or to foreign port, mentioned in section 16, 17, and 18 of this manual. Transshipment means the custom procedures under which goods are transferred under customs control from the importing means of transfer to the exporting means of transfer within the area of one customs office, which is the office of both importation and exportation, mentioned in section 15 and 18 of this manual. Vessels includes every sort of boat, craft, or other artificial contrivance used or capable of being used as means of transportation on water. And these are the annexes. Form number in the title. BOC OPM Form Number 1, General Permit. Number 2, Clearance of Vessel to a Foreign Port. Number 3, Clearance of Customs Inspector assigned on board. Number 4, Inspectors for Certificate of Last Cargo Discharge, Container or Bulk Cargo. Number 5, Container Discharging Report. Number 6, Pier or Shipside Discharging Report. Number 7, Assignment Order. Number 8, Checklist. Number 9, Oath of Entering Vessel from Foreign Port. Number 10, Oath of Master to manifest in clearance for a foreign port. Number 11, Oath of Master to foreign vessel clearance without passenger. Number 12, Outward Foreign Manifest. Number 13, Customs Inspector After Operation Report. Number 14, Inward Foreign Manifest. Number 15, Record of Vessel Boarded. Number 16, Shipside Permit.